Almost 80% of people admit they feel a sudden surge of anxiety just before dialing a number to make a simple reservation. Yet we perform this task constantly in our daily lives. Why does a simple conversation about a table for two at a local bistro make our hearts race faster than a difficult meeting? Hi everyone, I am your host, Sarah, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are exploring the fascinating psychology and practical skills behind making a reservation by phone, and along the way, we will learn some natural English expressions together. English Vibe, the podcast, listening, shadowing main points with examples and fun stories. Many of us grew up in an era where digital apps handle everything, so talking to a human feels strangely intimidating. There is a specific mystery to it, as the tone of voice and the pace of our speech change the outcome entirely. Let us look at a real scenario. Imagine a person named Mark who needs to book a table at a popular restaurant on a Friday night. He knows that the restaurant is very busy, so he expects to struggle to get through to the host. He decides to call at 4 p.m. because he thinks the staff will have time to answer. By the way, the phrase "get through" is a very useful phrasal verb. It means to successfully connect with someone by phone. For example, I tried to get through to the doctor all morning. Mark prepares a notepad before he starts. He wants to be ready with his information so he does not have to pause while talking. This is a smart move because people appreciate it when you are organized and quick. He hears the dial tone and waits. After 4 rings, someone finally picks up. To pick up is a common phrasal verb we use for answering the phone. For example, please pick up the phone when it rings. The person on the other end says, "Hello, Bistro Garden, how can I help you?" Mark immediately feels a little nervous. He needs to stay calm and speak clearly so he does not sound unsure. He says, "Hello, I would like to make a reservation for this Friday." Making a reservation is a perfect collocation, which means 2 words that naturally go together. For example, we need to make a reservation for dinner. The host replies, "I am sorry, we are fully booked for Friday night." Mark is not surprised, but he was hoping for a different answer. He decides to play it by ear and see if there is another time. To play it by ear is a great idiom. It means to decide how to handle a situation as it develops rather than having a fixed plan. For example, I do not have a plan, so I will play it by ear. Mark asks, "Do you have any availability for Saturday at 7 p.m.?" The host checks the system and pauses for a moment. This pause feels like a long time to Mark, even if it is only a few seconds. The host says, "Let me check that for you. Yes, we have a table available for 2 at 7:30 p.m. Mark smiles, even though the host cannot see it. This shows how our emotions influence our voice. He says, "That works for me. Could you please put me down for that time?" To put someone down is a phrasal verb that means to record information or a name on a list. For example, "Please put me down for the morning session." The host confirms the details. "Great, I have you down for 2 people this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. May I have your name, please?" Mark gives his name and spells it out clearly to avoid any mistakes. Clear communication is vital here. In this case, if the probability of getting a table during peak hours is 1 in 5, the chance is 1/5 or 0.2 as a decimal. Mark knew that being polite increased his own chances of success. He says, "Thank you so much. I will see you then." He hangs up, feeling relieved that the task is finished. To hang up means to end a phone call by putting the receiver down or pressing the end button. For example, "Do not hang up until I give you the address." Notice how Mark followed a natural rhythm. He did not rush, he listened carefully, and he kept his sentences simple. This is the secret to successful communication in English. You might wonder why some people find this so easy while others struggle. It really comes down to preparation and practice. When you have a clear goal, the conversation flows much smoother. Think about the last time you had to call a business. Did you have your information ready, or were you searching for your credit card while the person was waiting on the line? Being prepared saves time for everyone. It shows respect for the other person's time. It is a small detail, but it leaves a positive impression. Let us dig deeper into the vocabulary of phone calls. One phrase you will hear often is "hold on." It is a phrasal verb meaning to wait for a short time. For example, "Could you hold on a second while I check?" Another useful expression is "call back." We use this when we cannot talk right now and want to speak later. For example, "I am busy right now, but I will call you back later." Sometimes the connection is poor and you cannot hear the other person. You might say, "I am sorry, you are breaking up." This means the audio quality is bad and the voice is not clear. For example, "I cannot hear you, you are breaking up." Wait, what if the person asks for your phone number? This is a standard part of the process. You should always be ready to say your number slowly. Most people say their numbers in groups of 2 or 3. It makes it easier for the person to write it down accurately. This is a very helpful technique. Mark realized that speaking clearly was just as important as the words he chose. He tried to enunciate every syllable. To enunciate means to speak clearly so that each sound is distinct. For example, "Please enunciate so everyone can understand." He also made sure to smile while talking. It sounds strange, but it works. When you smile, the muscles in your face change, and it actually makes your voice sound warmer and friendlier. This is a classic trick used by customer service professionals. It is fascinating how the human brain processes tone through a phone line. Even without seeing faces, we understand the emotion behind the words. Why do we fear the phone even when we know it is just a normal conversation? Perhaps it is because we cannot see the person's reaction in real time. When you are face to face, you can see body language. On the phone, you only have the sound of the voice. This removes a lot of our social cues. Because of this, we have to rely more on our listening skills. We must pay attention to the speed and the tone of the host. If they sound tired, we should be extra polite. If they sound rushed, we should keep our request short and direct. This is a sign of emotional intelligence. It helps us build a quick connection, even over the phone. Mark's experience is a great example of this. He adapted his style to match the professional tone of the restaurant host. He did not talk too much or tell unnecessary stories. He stayed focused on the goal, which was to secure the table. This is the most efficient way to handle such a call. You do not need to be funny or charming. You just need to be clear and polite. That is usually enough to get the job done successfully. Keep this in mind next time you feel nervous about calling. Are you getting value from these insights? We often overlook the small details of our daily interactions. Yet, these details are exactly what make us more effective communicators. Think about how many times you have had to call a service provider. The difference between a stressful call and a calm call is often just the preparation. It is not about the other person, it is about your own approach. There is another expression to keep in mind: leave a message. This is what you do if no one answers. For example, please leave a message after the beep. It can feel a bit awkward to talk to a machine, but it is necessary. You should be concise and clear. Mention your name, your phone number, and the reason for your call. Some people feel anxious about leaving a message. They worry they will sound foolish or forget a detail. My advice is to write a short note before you start recording. This way, you can read it and make sure you do not miss anything important. You will sound confident and professional. That is a great way to handle the situation. It is interesting to note that telephone etiquette is changing. With the rise of text messaging, we do not call as often as we used to. This makes the skill of phone calling even more valuable. Being able to speak on the phone with confidence makes you stand out. It shows you have strong social skills. It shows you are not afraid to handle direct communication. Let us summarize what we have covered. We talked about why phone calls cause anxiety. We discussed the importance of preparation and organization. We learned about phrasal verbs like get through, pick up, hold on, call back, and hang up. We also looked at expressions like play it by ear and put down. We realized that even small changes like smiling while talking can improve our communication. It is all about being present and attentive during the call. Does this change how you feel about making your next call? I hope you feel a little more prepared and a little less nervous. It really is just about having a conversation. You are now equipped with the tools to handle a reservation call like a professional. The next time you need to book a table, you will know exactly what to do. Think about the progress you have made today. You have learned new vocabulary and gained a better understanding of communication psychology. This is how we grow and master a language. The key is to keep practicing. Do not let the fear of making a mistake stop you from trying. Everyone makes mistakes, and that is how we learn. You can try this today. Find a simple reason to call a business, like a library or a shop, and ask a question. Use the phrases we discussed and see how it goes. It is a small step, but it builds your confidence over time. Before you know it, you will feel completely at ease on the phone. You will be able to handle any call with grace. This journey of learning English is not just about words. It is about understanding the human experience behind the language. That is what makes it so engaging. The way we talk, the way we listen, and the way we connect with others all play a part. Keep exploring these topics, and you will continue to see improvement. I am so happy you joined me for this deep dive into the art of the phone reservation. It is a simple topic, but it holds a lot of value for our daily lives. I hope you found this exploration as fascinating as I did. Understanding the logic behind our daily tasks helps us see them in a new light. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to the channel. We explore many different topics here, from science and psychology to real stories and success strategies. Our goal is to help you improve your English while learning something interesting and useful every single time. It is a wonderful way to grow your skills naturally. Also, feel free to like the video if you learned something new today. It helps other people find the podcast, which is fantastic for our community of learners. Thank you for being here and for listening so closely. I am Sarah, and I look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Keep practicing, stay curious, and have a wonderful time mastering your English.